Welcome everybody to a brand new show called My Three, part of the Full Frame Kicks channel. We are going to come very, very quick, thick and fast with loads of episodes of the amazing people within the sneaker community, showing them their top three sneakers. So first up, my first guest, lovely guy in the community, top man, good friend, Alex Dima. Welcome to the stage. Tell everyone about yourself and welcome.
Hey mate, thanks so much for having me. Really appreciate it. So yeah, Alex Dima, Instagram Dean76. I'm probably not the core demographic of a sneakerhead. Very, very nearly 45. And I think we'll all agree there's nothing that says desperate more than a nearly 45-year-old man in a Supreme hoodie. So I'm really.
We love it. Wouldn't have it any other way, Alex.
I'm giving faith to all those old heads out there. So yeah, let's keep it real.
Well, we're the same sort of age, so we know how that works.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. We'll start using terminology that no one's even ever heard of. We'll be talking about how many shillings these pairs cost me.
Love it.
Yeah, been collecting for a long, long time, off and on. The scene has changed massively in that period of time. But yeah, really keen to kind of run through my top three pairs. It's a strange selection, given I'm very lucky to have some of the pairs that I've got. But
of course. And I'm just going to remind everyone who's watching, who is coming on or thinking of coming on, this is your three, okay? So this is any three within your collection, however new, however old, however GR, however hype, it doesn't matter. It's your three. And I've had a few people DMing me recently. You might not even have your top three within the actual collection physically. One of them might be a grail, two of them might be a grail that you don't have your hands on yet. So you can obviously in the future remember and include that within your three. So starting things off, Alex, let's see we're going to go obviously in reverse order. So your three out of your top three, please.
Okay, so starting at number three, these are the Travis Scott choice. Cactus Jacks Jordan 6s.
Fantastic.
So yeah, I mean, really, really love this pair. And again, there's a story with them, and I think that's what's almost kind of pulled me into the scene is, the kicks are the kicks, but a lot of the time, and the reason why it evokes that emotion and such a fond pair is the memories you have of how you got them, where you were when you got them, and those types of things. And this is definitely a pair with a story.
We're going to get onto that in a minute. I could not agree more with you. Obviously, I think an older sneakerhead, but also everybody, it's all about a story behind the kicks.
Yeah.
Great shoe to start off on. I actually slept on those, had the opportunity, but I slept on them. I regret it now. I'm not a Six fan, and I wasn't at the beginning, and I didn't want to kind of fall into the whole hype, but now I kind of regret it. But so you obviously, the question I was going to ask you is when did you get them? But obviously we know when you got them because that wasn't that long ago, a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you won them in the raffles and you paid retail because that was another question I was going to ask.
Yes, I did. Yeah. So these were an Offspring win. Shouts to Offspring.
Fantastic.
And I picked these up on the pickup day, which I think was from memory, I think might have been a Super Saturday. I think it might have been the second Super Saturday of that particular year. So it was 2019. And
that's going to probably bring us nicely into the story, I'm guessing, which is behind that. So go for it.
Interestingly, so this was my first collection day where I met probably the Real Soul family as a group. So for those that don't know, obviously that's a sneaker collective, and it genuinely is like a family. We have a chat group, always there for meets. And it's a community group of people that have, I think, really helped each other through the lockdown period as well. So
most definitely. Well, that's how you and I met.
Sorry?
That's how you and I met.
Yeah, exactly. And it was the very first day that I met the fabulous Mr. Fox. So, huge RIP to Mr. Fox.
Yeah.
And it was such a fun day. It was chucking it down with rain, absolutely chucking it down with rain. And I was sat in the pub, funnily enough, opposite Selfridges. And I think Casper and a few of the guys came in, and I think Ty was there, so French Crepe was there, etc. And he literally just started gathering people up from the pub to say, "Who's won a pair of Travis? Who's won a pair of Travis? Put them on. We want to get a sneaker wheel shot."
Photo, yeah.
Dragged us all back over the road into the foyer of Selfridges, and from that point on, it was like I've known everybody for almost all my life. It was such a good day, and then obviously that was 10 minutes of the day. and the rest of the day was just sat in the pub chatting rubbish and talking sneakers. And that's the memory I have of these, and how really this win led me to meeting so many incredible people that I still count as some of my closest friends to this day. So yeah, really nice story on those ones. And important.
Incredible, love it. I can testify. I know the feeling. Obviously, I've been there with you through it all, so it's very special. Definitely. And it's amazing because the stories behind the sneakers, especially for people like you and I, who are a bit older within the community, we've got those kind of news stories. But then, we've got stories of a shoe we picked up 20 years ago for something that we used to camp out, or you bought it in America or something. So there's stories from everywhere,
Exactly.
But I love
and
it.
How
That's
those camp outs evolved into when you first turned up, you just took a crate to sit on, but then you realise it'd take longer. So actually now it's a chair, and it's a full like B-Jam freezer suit. So just in case it got a bit cold.
And the amount of people as well.
God, yeah.
People had no idea what they were back in the day because we didn't have the social media. Now you can't even, they don't even really happen anymore, do they? As we know.
No, and again, it's unfortunate that they can't, because there's so much hype and there's so much money involved in it that you can't queue up and get something nice. I mean, even to the point, even these days, where I think places like Offspring, etc., or even End on an in-store release, manage that really well.
Yeah.
But if you're walking around anywhere near there with a yellow Selfridges bag not long after launch, you've got to be a little careful sometimes. And that's, it's an awful thing to think of, but it is very much the reality. I
know there's so many floating around.
Yeah.
Mad.
Yeah.
Anyway, so love it. So that's your third. What is your second sneaker?
And controversial. So this is the CPFM Vapor Max. So these were a resale purchase because of the fact that on drop day, I couldn't get them for love nor money. Tried everywhere. Obviously, they were a women's release, so the size and rise were difficult in terms of a size run for men. I have to say, that's not usually the case. So I totally feel for the ladies out there in the community, because the size runs that we get, there's probably not enough to cater for them. Recently, really pleased to see that they've got some fantastic women's runs. Starfish 4s that we were talking about earlier, it's a great case in point. But I just loved them. They were so mental. And again, I remember the Friends and Family version had the swoosh here was like LED lighting, which was
it was glow up or something. I remember that one.
Yeah.
If I remember with these ones, wasn't it a predominantly maybe a US release?
I think so. I mean, I don't recall them being
It wasn't widely available, were they? I remember.
Yeah, no. I didn't see loads of raffles on them, but I remember going, I can't remember what pickup it was. Funny enough, again, it was a Selfridges pickup, and one of the Offspring staff members was wearing a pair of these. And when I saw them on foot, I was like, oh my God, they look amazing. They look so good. And then I spent 18 months looking for a pair. I bought 3 pairs. All 3 pairs prior to these ones turned out to be Fugazis. So constant refunds, tracking, thought I'd found another pair, did my own legit checks. But you know what it's like as well. It's so hard to legit check a pair till you've got them.
Yeah.
And I think these ones I bought maybe 4 or 5 months ago. The 4th or 5th pair that I got were finally the legit pair.
And was that because they came from a legitimate source?
Just such a chase to get them and find them, and yeah, love them. Absolutely love them.
They're a great pair. I do think they're slept on, funny enough. I wasn't a massive fan of them when they came out. I'm not a massive fan of the Vapor Max, to be honest with you. I remember I tried on a pair when they first came out in Niketown a few years back, and I just found it a really uncomfortable, tight shoe. Probably because I'm a big foot gang, so doesn't help.
They are really narrow, they're really narrow, and strangely, the laces that come with them are really short.
Okay.
So I suppose there's 2 trains of thoughts in terms of how you lace your sneakers, but if you're one that likes them sort of neat and tidy, and even if they're done in a knot, to have them loose enough across quite a broad foot, you end up with like no laces to tie. Which
I know what you mean.
Problems, but it can be a bit strange to put them on.
And where did you get them from? Do you mind letting people know?
Those were an eBay purchase.
Okay.
A guy that I bought a couple of pairs from before, and I kept looking, and you know what it's like on eBay. You kind of save certain sellers who usually have quite decent stuff. And again, it's saved, and as with most things, it kind of pops up. So there's new items from your saved sellers. Oh, right, okay. And most of the time, it's a load of junk. You're sort of like, I'm not interested in these. And literally, as soon as they popped up, I was like, oh my god. And luckily enough, because I bought pairs from the guy before, immediately like, I think I can trust this guy.
Yeah.
Obviously, they arrived, a few posts out there, get them legit check from people that I knew also had pairs that they bought on drop day. Like, yeah, you're absolutely good. And you can tell when stuff comes through. The packaging was all correct. The box, the receipt directly from Sneakers was in the box, and it was, no cross-outs or anything. You just knew. And compared to the other ones that I had in hand, as soon as you got them, you were like, what? Like the smiley face on the back looked like it was sort of like pulling a bit of
an upside down face, pair of glasses on or something.
Yeah, you can sort of.
So how many did you have to go through to get the real pair?
I think it was 3. I think this was the 4th pair actually. I think 3 pairs that I got that all turned out to be fake, or certainly as far as I was concerned. You know what it's like whenever you speak to them. No, they're completely legit, mate.
Yeah.
Look, the bottom line is I'm not happy with them. You're never going to wear them, particularly when you drop in. They weren't cheap. You don't want any doubts. And the last thing you're going to do is want to be wearing any pair of shoes anywhere, and someone go, "You sure they're 100%?" So yeah, they all went.
Because it's a sick feeling, like you said, especially how much we spend. But also, we've got the passion for the sneaker, so it's the last thing. It's not like we don't care and we just know blatantly we're buying a fake shoe. It's just you don't want that. It's
absolutely, mate. And again, for me, I think it then sort of turned into, it was almost as much about desperately trying to find a legit pair at the right price as much as it was just getting the shoe, because after you've gone through 3 pairs of them, you're like, it's crazy. It almost becomes a proper mission. And
of course,
I'd refused to use StockX. I think after they'd had all the data breaches and all the rest of it, deleted accounts.
Yeah, it was around that sort of time when they were a bit dodgy.
Yeah, and I was just like, I just don't want to get involved in that. So of course, you're limited then to trying to find pairs. And again, because male sizing, I'm a size 8.5, 9. A female shoe that size is the money sizes.
Of course, yeah.
So it really turned into a mission just to get them. So really, really chuffed that I did in the end.
No. Amazing. Great shoe. Very slept on. So here we are. We have come to your top shoe, in your opinion, in your top 3. Let's see what you're going to pull out.
2 pairs, but they're the same pair.
Okay, I understand. That's fine.
Air Max 90 Laser Blue. So this is a 2012 pair, and this is the recent 2020, the kind of recraft shape. So for me, just my favorite ever pair of trainers, bar none. I had the original Laser Blues as my very first pair of Air Max in 1990. I followed those up not long afterwards with the Infrared, but the first pair I got were the Laser Blues. And then to manage to get a pair, and it was so easy to get these. I thought it was going to be a disaster.
I remember your whole situation. They went on sale as well. They're still sitting. I can't believe it. I tried to pick up a second pair in my size, but I couldn't find my size anywhere.
Yeah, I honestly, mate, I think I had notes out on Insta saying, if anybody sees these drop, help your man out, desperate for them, blah, blah, blah. And then I think I got these from, it was either Louis Vuitton or SVD. One of them dropped early.
Yeah.
And it was like the easiest copy in the world. And then to see they all just ended up on sale, I couldn't believe it. But I was so desperate for them. I was convinced, therefore, that everybody else would be, and I'd never be able to get a pair.
I remember. And I've got to say, I got them as well. Like you said, very easy day of release. I got them on SNS just straight away. I think I even used a discount code on them.
Crazy.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. And I've got to say, the comfort level on the 2020 pair, just unreal. I don't think I've got a pair of Air Max that comfortable.
They did a great job with these. I think the recraft shape is good, really good. I think you're always going to get varying degrees of quality per pair or almost per colour run. But these ones, I think they did a really good job with. I love the little touches of, like, the old school size tag. the OG box in terms of long and thin and stuff like that. I think they did a really, really good job on them. And I was
although it's terrible for stacking like that box.
yeah.
But I do love the details. Yeah.
But you can always find your pair with that box.
That's
Because
true.
all you've got to do is trace the list.
Yeah.
Where your boxes start to fall over, at the bottom of that will be that box. Because nothing else sits on it properly.
No, totally. And
again, the story behind these is a really, really special one. So I'm married with 2 kids. I've been with my wife since I was 14 years old. She was 13. Sorry, I was 13. She was 12 when we met. And the very first time we met, I was wearing this shoe, this Air Max 90 laser blue, which at the time was brand new. I remember sitting with her in the park, chatting rubbish, and desperately trying to wipe dirt off the mudguard because I wanted to keep them completely fresh and clean. But obviously, that evokes memories of when you've been together with someone that you love so much, and it's your kid, all those that you kind of have changed in your life. To have something turn up in a box that is just nostalgia. And my wife's not really into trains. She loves an Air Max, but she's nothing like a collector like I am. And when they turned up, to have her have a great big smile on her face, go, I remember that pair. It's just
that's amazing.
It gives you that kind of warm and fuzzy feeling. And again, that to me is, you can have all the hype pairs you like, but if you've just purchased those off StockX, they'll just never have the same type of place in your collection as something like this. And I've got really expensive pairs, really rare pairs, but my favourite pair are these.
Love it. What a story. And you're right. I agree with you on it totally. But maybe that might be a bit of an age thing with you and I.
Yeah.
Because we've got that memory of the Air Max. We were around in the 90s. We knew when that shoe came. I was like you, the Infrared growing up, your mum and dad, that was the one shoe a year you bought, sort of thing,
Exactly. Riding those on my penny farthing, And
really quickly, just going slightly off of it, what was crazy was obviously the laser blue pair was sitting when in sale, still around today on sale. And the Infrareds, which should have been the same situation, Nike totally turned that into like this biggest hype thing, and it was just a shit show.
Yeah, which is a real shame, because I think what it showed was, I appreciate, Nike and retailers don't want things going on to sales rights, of course they don't. But with the greatest respect, the laser blues weren't on a sale racks en masse. There was only certain sizes left.
Yes, correct.
They weren't everywhere. They would have sold out of those Infrareds, regardless. And everybody, or the majority of people, would have got a pair if there wasn't a big hype job done on it, like it was going to be, something other than a really well anticipated GR drop, which is what it really should have been marketed as.
But it's a GR shoe. It's a GR shoe.
Yeah.
An Air Max 90 Infrared laser blue has never been a hype shoe ever. It's a GR normal shoe.
And I think
just because it was the anniversary, they decided to put a hype on it and make it go out to raffles, which was just silly in my opinion.
And that's what really concerns me about future drops, is that, things like this year, 30th anniversary of the BW, and I'm a big BW fan for the same reasons I am a 90s fan.
Yeah.
My concern with that is, again, a lot of the time this will be the first retros of some of these pairs since 2013. The Persians is an example. If they're going to hype it up massively, you're going to find a lot of people that really want them, particularly maybe older heads like us, who might struggle to get a pair, and we're desperate for a pair to rock.
Yeah.
But you overhype it, there's going to be some difficulties in that, which will be a massive shame. I'll be gutted if that's the route it goes.
I agree. Well, fingers crossed it doesn't. But look, that is amazing. That is your top 3. So we are very nearly done. But what I'm going to be doing on each and every end of every episode is we're going to say what's on people's feet, because we're sitting at home. So I have decided to put these on my feet today.
Oh,
I love this shoe. It's that quite a hated shoe, I think, but I just love it. I've got to say the comfort levels on it are incredible. I think it's really well sturdy. I think it's a great built shoe, and I think it's something different. And that's my shoe today. What about you?
On my feet, I have got the latest in lightweight innovations from Nike.
Love it.
It's no kick gang at home, mate. Working from home, I barely put kicks on. Maybe first thing in the morning for 5 minutes for a quick Insta shot, and then they're straight back off.
To be fair, I put these on for the video.
I can't believe you've stitched me up there, Jamie. You literally, what you should have done there is at least let me know, put something on your feet. But no, thanks for mugging me off. I'm never coming back again. My agent.
For everyone coming on in the future, you know what's going to happen. So we're going to wrap things up there. Alex, thank you so much for coming on board. It's been a great 3 sneakers. Guys, don't forget, please like, subscribe to our channel, Full Frame Kicks, on YouTube and all other platforms. For all the notifications, put your bells on, and we will see you again very soon for another episode of My 3.